Hey, I must Google Soul Tribe Souls. Wow, I just saw 144444 seconds on the clock as I started this reading, still being a 1444 on the clock. Hey, beautiful Leo, Virgo CUSP, welcome in. Perhaps that is a synchronicity just meant for you. Let me know in the comments, have you been seeing 1444? Anyway, as we're diving into this reading, beautiful souls, have you been feeling that pull lately? Like a part of you wants to stay where it's safe, but another part of you already knows your life is trying to change. Because this reading, I'm feeling it's not small energy, it's that crossroad moment, right? And I truly feel that the choice that you make around this time, the thing that you continue feeding, avoiding, holding on to, or finally walking away from could shape your next 6 months in a very powerful way. But yeah, okay, so before we dive into the tarot and look deeper at the spiritual energy surrounding this decision point, we're looking at these oracles that are quite intense here. And the first card that came out here is Beloved. And immediately I'm getting the message here that it's actually a question, all right, is what are you truly giving your heart, energy, and soul to? 5 could also be a number that is important for you. It could be a life path number. It also means change, all right? This card is actually deeper than romance. This is because, this is about the things that you actually idolize, the things that you emotionally attach yourself to, the people, dreams, situations. It could even be old versions of yourselves that you keep holding, or why did I say holding, or maybe holding on to. But what I meant to say is that you keep hoping will finally become what you need them to be. So what Spirit is saying here very clearly for some of you, that you may be standing at crossroads between comfort and truth, fantasy and reality, attachment and alignment. There's this realization happening where you're starting to see that something, or perhaps someone, you've been emotionally tied to may actually be mirroring back your own deep desires, fears, or longing. Not necessarily showing you the full truth. And that is why the next card, all right, is so powerful. The Sweat Lodge. It's like a God's waiting room, all right? That's how I see it when I look at this card. This is like rebirth energy. And what I'm hearing is Spirit saying that you cannot enter your next chapter carrying the old skin. My Leo Virgo cusps, this energy, this feels like a deep purification happening over the next 6 months. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, that some of you are shedding old identities, old fears, old relationship patterns, old survival versions of yourselves. And I know this energy can feel uncomfortable because the Sweat Lodge is the dark before the rebirth happens, right? And Spirit is saying here, this is your second chance. This is your healing window. This is your opportunity to become who you were meant to be before fear took over. Then lightning, boom. Lightning strikes, and this card really gives me chills. Because after the shedding, after the emotional truth, comes the awakening, the sudden clarity, sudden change, sudden realization. This is the universe trying to ignite you. And honestly, some of you already feel this building, right? The restless energy. The feeling that your soul is outgrowing something, that knowing that you cannot keep repeating the same cycle and expect a different future. Like the lightning is trying to happen. Destiny is trying to redirect you. And what Spirit is asking you is to be brave enough to move when the moment comes. Because if not, you stay tied to that karmic cycle that just were never meant to become permanent homes, all right? So collectively for the Leo Virgos, the oracle energy surrounding this reading shows emotional truth, rebirth, destiny, level awakening, This is not just about making a decision with your mind, right? This is about your soul choosing a new timeline. So beautiful souls, let's dive deeper into the stained glass tarot and see the path that you're currently standing in. What happens if nothing changes? What shifts if you take that leap? And the guidance that Spirit wants you to carry with you for the next 6 months. Beautiful souls. These cards are really confirming this isn't a random decision. This is a soul level turning point. And honestly, some of you already know exactly what this reading is talking about. The thing that you keep going back and forth about. The situation your intuition keeps bringing your attention to, like the chapter that you've emotionally outgrown but haven't fully released yet. And that, that. All right, so let's dive in here. What is your current path here? Judgment. This is huge, all right? Judgment is that energy of awakening, a calling, a moment where your soul can no longer pretend it doesn't hear the truth. Leo Virgos, I feel like you're standing in the energy right now where life is asking, are you ready to answer the call? Are you ready to become who you were meant to be? And this isn't just external, right? This is internal as well. Some of you are waking up to unhealthy relationship patterns, career dissatisfaction, emotional exhaustion, fear-based comfort zones, or maybe just realizing you've been settling for far less than what your spirit truly wants. Judgment is powerful because it's a moment before rebirth, right? The oracles that we started with, beloved, sweat lodge, lightning. I feel like your soul is saying your soul already knows the answer. That's what your spirit is trying to say to you, that you already know the answer. That you're not confused anymore. You're just afraid of change that comes maybe after clarity. If nothing changes, we have the 7 of Wands. This energy actually feels exhausting because if nothing changes, Spirit is showing continued resistance, always defending yourself, always fighting to hold something together, always surviving instead of living. This energy does speak of emotional burnout, constantly trying to prove yourself, staying guarded, feeling like life is an uphill battle. And for some of you, this could look like staying in draining relationships, your battery running low, a job that just no longer fulfills you, old emotional patterns, fear of disappointing others, or staying small because it feels safer. But, the truth is that the longer you stay in alignment with something that no longer fits your soul, the heavier it becomes, right? So I'm hearing here, the path keeps you surviving, not expanding. That's the tension. 5s, 9s, 3s, 7s, 10. Beautiful souls. Now, if action is taken, we have this beautiful 10 of Cups. And wow. See? This is why Spirit has been pushing you, because on the other side of this decision, there's emotional fulfillment waiting, peace, alignment, emotional happiness, soul family, deeper love, true fulfillment, the job that just makes you happy, whatever it is for you, right? You know what it is. This doesn't mean that life becomes perfect overnight, right? Nothing becomes perfect or 100% perfect. There's always obstacles and challenges. But it means that you move forward, you move towards a timeline that actually feels emotionally aligned with your spirit, so that you could have that healthy job, the job that you want, healthy relationships, emotional healing, moving homes, reconnecting with joy, just like, creating the life that you actually dreamt about, the life that you dream about, finally feeling emotionally safe within yourself. And that is what this is so beautiful, right? Because this card tells you that the difficult decision is not taking you away from happiness, but it's leading you actually towards it. Your divine guidance is the Page of Wands. Spirit does want you to move with curiosity, courage, and openness. Look at all the green here. It's so beautiful. Not perfection. Not perfection, yes. The Page of Wands doesn't know every answer before taking the first leap, right? They just trust the spark. I feel like the collective are pages right now, all right? And specifically with you, my Leo Virgos, the Page of Wands, that fire energy that is asking you to reconnect with your passion, your creativity, the excitement, the possibility, the endless possibilities. Because somewhere along the way, perhaps a fear, it could be fear, it could be something else that made you maybe too serious. Life maybe made you a little bit too serious. So the page is like saying, try again, explore again, dream again, trust yourself enough to begin. Even if the path ahead isn't fully clear yet, we don't all know what is going to happen in the future. We can have hints, we can have ideas, but we don't know what is actually going to happen tomorrow. Wow, here's the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Beautiful. Perhaps you can put in the comments, what is this Ace of Pentacles for you? So the Four of Pentacles is underneath it all. The fear of letting go, the fear of losing control, fear of instability, fear of change. Perhaps it's the fear of that new beginning. And honestly, it makes sense because even painful situations can start to feel safe when they're familiar. This card is showing that a part of you is gripping so tightly onto something. It could be a person, identity, security, a past, a situation, or something that did happen, that life you thought you were supposed to have. It could be that life that you thought you were supposed to have. What Spirit is saying is, what if letting go is actually what sets you free to what you're asking for? I feel like the deeper message of this crossroad is not punishment. It's initiation. One path keeps you guarded, all right, exhausted and spiritually stuck. The other path asks for courage but leads you towards emotional fulfillment and alignment. So I feel like over the next 6 months, your choices that you make around your peace, your truth, your boundaries, your future are going to matter really deeply. Yes, we don't know where the future is going to take us, but we more or less know and have an idea where we want to go, right? So what actions are you going to take? What decision are you going to make? So beautiful souls, my Leo Virgos, if this reading found you at exactly the right moment and your soul has been feeling this shift already, let us know below in the comments, and perhaps take this as confirmation that your life is already trying to move you in the new chapter. There is a new chapter. Perhaps you can affirm here, I choose the path that aligns with my soul. I choose the path that aligns with my soul. And remember, sometimes the hardest choice is also the one that changes your life the most. Love and light, beautiful, and I'll check you around in the next one.